In a moment so quiet that even time seemed to pause, a graveside visit turned into an emotional storm no one was truly prepared for, a storm of memories, grief, and love that refused to stay buried. The air was heavy as the family of Alan Osmond arrived at the resting place of a man whose name carried decades of music, legacy, and devotion. For many, Alan was remembered as a performer, a brother in the legendary Osmond family, and a symbol of unity in one of entertainment's most iconic musical dynasties. But for his sons, standing there was not about fame or history. It was about a father, a voice they once called home, a presence that now existed only in memory. As they stepped closer to the grave, silence took over. There were no rehearsed words, no cameras that could fully capture what was about to unfold, only raw emotion. The kind that builds quietly over time and then suddenly breaks free without warning. One of his sons was the first to break down. His hands trembled as he placed them near the headstone, as if trying to feel even the smallest trace of connection. "I still hear him sometimes," he whispered, his voice cracking under the weight of emotion. That single sentence carried years of memories, laughter from childhood, advice given in quiet moments, and the kind of fatherly guidance that never truly fades, even after loss. Another son stood just behind him, struggling to hold himself together. His eyes remained fixed on the name carved into stone. It wasn't just a name to him. It was bedtime stories, long road trips, backstage moments, and a lifetime of lessons now frozen in time. As the reality settled in, he slowly lowered his head, unable to hold back tears any longer. What made the moment even more heartbreaking was the silence between them. No speeches, no public performance, just a family confronting the absence of someone who once held them all together. Alan Osmond, known to the world as a member of the legendary Osmonds, had always been seen through the lens of music and success. But here, at his final resting place, none of that mattered. What remained was the man behind the legacy, a father whose love was not measured in applause, but in the quiet sacrifices made for his children. As the wind moved gently across the cemetery, it almost felt like something unseen was present, like memory itself refusing to fade. One of the sons placed a small token at the grave, pausing as if searching for words that could bridge the gap between life and loss. But nothing came. Some emotions, no matter how deep, cannot be spoken. They can only be felt. The visit continued in waves of emotion. Moments of silence would suddenly break into tears, followed by attempts to smile through pain as old stories were recalled. He used to say, "One began, only to stop midway," overwhelmed by emotion. It was clear that even after time had passed, the wound of losing him had not fully healed. What stood out most was not just the grief, but the love that still surrounded it. A love that death had not erased. A love that stood quietly in that cemetery, stronger than words, stronger than time. As the visit came to an end, the sons lingered a little longer, unwilling to leave the place where memory and reality met. One last touch on the stone, one final whisper carried by the wind, and then slowly, they stepped away. But even as they walked back, it was clear they were not truly leaving him behind. Because for them, Alan Osmond was not just a name on a grave. He was a voice in their memories, a presence in their hearts, and a legacy that would continue to live through them forever. And in that silent farewell, one truth became undeniable: some goodbyes are never really goodbye at all.